Welcome back to the Man Cave. Waswere here, and today I'm going to be giving you a Legios guide. There are 6 Legios, and each of them drop their own signet, and when put together, they create the Ascension crossbows. For the gear I used full armadillo armor. If you have a Slayer task, use a Slayer helm. I use tier 90 range. That could be either Ascensions or a Noxious Longbow. You can also do it with tier 80 range. Doesn't really matter, but I wouldn't go below tier 80. So like the RCB is the minimum. Always wear a Sign of Death, and my favorite aura to use there is Vampirism, because you really don't need the accuracy from Sharpshooter. I use a Steel Titan as my familiar there. The combat familiar isn't too important, so feel free to downgrade it to a Beast of Burden such as a Pack Yak or a War Tortoise if you're having issues lasting for a long time. All 6 of the Legios have slightly different mechanics about them, but the main thing to know is that they shoot lightning at you, so you always want to keep moving in a circle around them. There are different methods for advanced players, but for now we'll just focus on going around in a circle. And the closer you are to them, the more damage you do. So you really want to stay very, very close to them to do the maximum amount of damage. Another thing to look out for all the Legios is when the Legio is at about 10 to 12k LP, you can activate Devotion and then use Rapid Fire to finish them off, or with a Needle Strike after the Rapid Fire. That allows for quicker kills. You don't have to run around with the Devotion. So you can just activate Devotion, run right up to the Legio, hit Rapid Fire, and then Needle Strike, and it should die most of the time if you started at 10 to 12k LP. The Ascension Dungeon, where the Legios are held, are right by the Uglog Lodestone. So you can teleport to the Uglog Lodestone, run a little bit to the northwest, and then traverse through the cave to the individual bosses. There are agility shortcuts that allow for short travel to the other Legios, but Primus here, I'm just showing you the walk there. If you have Maxscape, just attune your portal to the Ascension Dungeon and you'll be able to teleport right in front of the boss. The first Legio I'm going to be looking at is Legio Primus. I personally feel that Legio Primus is the easiest of the Legios to do. Good one to start at, even though it is the most expensive key, it's definitely the easiest. His main special is that he acts kind of like Darok the Wretched from Barrows. When his LP is lower, his lightning attacks do a lot more damage. So normally it's around 2k through prayer, but when he's very low LP, like under 7.5k, he'll hit 3 to 4k with his lightning. So it's a good way to really learn how to dodge those lightning attacks. As I'm going in order, the Geosecundus is up next. Legiocundus' special is that he uses his lightning attack far more frequently, so every time he loses 7.5k LP, 25% of his life points, he'll increase the rate at which he uses lightning. So at the very start of the kill, there's not much lightning, but by the end you're going to be swamped with a lot of lightning. This is one boss where I really advise saving Devotion for the end, so you can really just run through the end of the kill, don't even have to worry about the lightning at the end. And, funnily enough, while I was getting kill tests for this video, I got something a little special. Just watch and look. For those of you who don't know, that is the signet dropped by Secundus, Ascension Signet 2. Each of the 6 bosses each drop a signet, and once you have one of each of them, you can combine them with the Dragon Crossbow to create the Ascension Crossbow. Next up is Legiotritius. In my opinion, Legiotritius is the second hardest of the Legios to kill after Quintus. Before you start going into the fight here, you're going to want to change up your action bar. Remove Ricochet and remove Bombardment. Make sure they're both off. You can put whatever you want there, but those 2 abilities cannot be used in this fight because Legiotritius spawns minions, and if you aggro those minions, they can stun you, and when you're stunned with lightning, you're just going to get dropped right away. You can kill the minions if you want, but I find it much easier and much safer to not kill the minions. Now the trick with this one is when Legiotritius is at 7.5k LP, he's gonna spawn Casparius. You have to kill Casparius, otherwise the kill won't stop. So what I do is I activate Devotion, then I attack Casparius. As soon as I'm on Casparius, I use Snapshot, it'll kill it, extend my Devotion timer, and then I can just stand there and kill Legiotritius, pick up the drops, and then leave the room, and then restart it after so you don't have to kill the other minions. Legiocordis is the second easiest of the Legio bosses, from my experience. His special is that he teleports you next to him every 7.5k LP. This can be both bad and good. good because it increases your DPS because you're right next to him, but bad because it can also drag you into lightning. What I try to do is activate a threshold like Snapshot or Bombardment right after he teleports me, and then from there I run away and resume my normal circular pattern. Legioquintus is the hardest boss in the Ascension Dungeon. His special is that he spawns lines on the floor that damage you a lot if you walk over them. The way to avoid damage from the lines is to not walk along them, but try to walk through them. If any of you have done QBD before, you know that if you step one in front of the firewall and then run through it, the firewall doesn't damage you. The same technique works here, where if you click right beside the line and then run through the line, you won't take any damage from the line. Near the end of the fight, there's going to be 3 lines on the ground. It really can box you in it many times, so I like to save devotion for that point, activate it, and then just end the kill before the devotion's over, just so I don't have to worry about the lines. If you're struggling with Quintus, the way I learnt it is I dragged Quintus to the north so that the first east-west line was right on the north wall. That really helped me learn, and now I feel confident enough that I can put the lines anywhere and just kind of dance around and still survive. But when you're learning, you can have the lines be up against the wall so as if they're not even part of the fight. But it just really slows down your kills per hour, so once you're good, don't bother with that method. Much like Legiosecundus, Legio Sextus also spawns a bunch of lightning onto the field. The way his special works is that as his life points decrease, the radius of the lightning is increased, and the length that the lightning is on the field is also increased. But the one saving grace from Legio Sextus is the fact that he doesn't use his normal magic ball attack, he just only uses lightning. So the only damage you should be taking from Sextus is from the lightning, and it is very important at Sextus to know your path, because the lightning is going to go where you've been, where you were, and where you're going. So unlike the other ones where it's just where you're going and where you are now, it's now also been where you've been. So you really have to focus and make sure that you're going in a circle and not backtracking, because that will kill you. Thanks for watching the guide. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helps you out. If there's anything I missed, just leave a comment down below. I'll be sure to answer it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you have, and subscribe if you haven't. Have a good day.